Hey guys, and I hope you're having a blessed up Tuesday, that you're rested, that you're just very intentional. Today we are on day number 20 of 30 days of building self-worth. And today is a very interesting one. I notice a lot of people use this within their vocabulary, and why it's important to be very intentional with the words that you're speaking, specifically the word should, the word hope, the word try, the word can't, and transitioning wrong and better or worse and right. Because I'm going to tell you why in a second, but real fast, if you want this PDF of 30 days of building self-worth and becoming very intentional and how things are just going to completely change the way that you're operating on a cellular level. I get a lot of people that are like, Tanya, you are looking so youthful. You have this glow to you. You guys, this stuff is the glow up, all right? It's the inner work. It's the being very intentional with how your internal dialogue is and taking complete ownership over what you're thinking, how you're behaving, how you're reacting, the decisions you're making as far as like how you're self-caring. Because if you don't care about yourself, what makes you think anything else or anyone else is going to care about you? And another thing, based on conversations and me following up with people, is especially you guys that are entrepreneurs, you are your greatest investment. So every single thing, when you're trying to project out into the business, like, you are the business. The business is an extension of you. Before you're a role, a task, a responsibility, you're a human being. Before you're a mother, a father, a significant other, you're a human being. In order to give all these things, the best of you, you have to learn how to give to yourself. And that even comes down to our self-dialogue. So welcome if you're just joining me today. My name is Tanya Oliver. If I'm meeting you for the first time, for those of you that are new, I am a life coach. That is a label. Yes, it's a label. That is one thing of that's what I do as a career. All that means is I help people, I teach people how to become mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually healthy and strong AF, so that they can look, feel, and show up in their business and in their lives and in the relationships as their best self. So let's get into it today, shall we? Welcome everybody. Today is about being intentional with making decisions on whether you are going to do something or you're not going to do something. The words that we use, specifically the word try, the subconscious does not register it, it does not process it. So when you say the word try is just telling yourself like, hey, you're actually not going to do it. And so I catch myself too, because when I say try, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. And so now I just say like, I know I'm not going to do that, or no, thank you. I don't even say I'm sorry anymore. I'm just like, no, it's just not in alignment in this season of my life. And that's another thing to be intentional about. When you're saying the word, when you're creating space of saying, for example, like, oh, this is better or this is worse, what might have worked for you last season might have been better. And now in this season, it's worse. So if you're creating labels around better or worse, good or bad, you're also creating an energetic vibrational attachment of judgment, of shame, of criticism, of all these other things. So if we take the energy off of it and you're just like, you know what, one of my favorite things you'll hear me say all the time, whether I respond to you or if I have conversation with you, is like, you know what, that's totally in alignment with what's going on in this season of my life. It's a yes. Or that's not in alignment with my bigger vision and my goal right now, and so that's gonna be a no. But thank you so much for thinking of me. And in order to really grow and expand to the capacity of the human being that the goals and the visions and the mission that God has intentionally placed inside of your heart, you have to be able to almost be like in this vortex or in this space where it's like you can eliminate all these things that are coming at you and just be completely laser focused on what your mission is right now. And it's okay if you're not clear. Just by doing these like 20 things that we've gone over the last 20 days and being like really taking it to heart and using it as a workout. So every single day you have a workout for your mind, you have a workout for your emotions, you have a workout for your energy, And when I was doing these things this morning, I started feeling overwhelmed, and I was like, okay, well, what would I tell my clients to do? And I had to pull back. I did a brain dump, and then I was like, okay, now am I going into this project with resentment? Because this is taking a very long time. And I want to get it done now. But I know it's going to take months, maybe even a year for this specific project to be complete. Or who knows, maybe that's a time cap I'm putting on it. And so I want you to think about whether it being a person, a place, a project that is already brought into your life or they're not in your life yet. Think about what's on the other side. Think about the intention and the energy. If you already had those things that you wanted to have, imagine what it would feel like to have that experience. And think about the things that you're doing right now. Do they add up? Are they adding value? Are they sharpening your skill set? Are they sharpening your energy? Are they sharpening your performance on what it is that your end goal is? And it's almost like getting completely clear on what that is and then reverse engineering it and making sure that every single day, whether you're fast or you're slow, whether you're skilled or you're unskilled yet, okay, that it is in harmony with the bigger picture. So you follow me with this? Because this also comes back down to what we're talking about today, which is about these key words, which is today's 20, is eliminating right, wrong, better, worse, should, hope, try, and can't. So what can I do right now that is in alignment to the bigger goal? What will I do and what will I not do right now? Who will I take on into my schedule and who is not a good fit for what I'm doing? And maybe it's just personality-wise, you're not a good match, and that's okay. For example, I'm not for everybody. And I only work with people that I know are going to be receptive to my personality, to the way that I present, to the way that I teach. Not everybody is going to trust me. There's something that's going to trigger people about me. Maybe it's my light. It happens. Sometimes your light is going to trigger people's insecurities within themselves. That's not your problem. It's just not. That's their life stuff. You know, but all you have to be intentional about is, who do I want to become? How do I want to show up? How do I want to look? How do I want to feel? How do I want to operate in this life? Something, got a little bit emotional just for a second, just thinking about it. It's wild to think, and I'm not claiming it. I promise I'm not claiming it. 3 of my top mentors have passed away. And I think about this often recently because one of them had just passed away, I think not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before. So it hasn't even been 2 weeks yet. And what really gets me really laser focused is thinking about, if I knew that I just had one more year here, like one more year of life here, if I knew I just had one more year to live, what are the things that would really be important in my day? What are my daily methods of operation? What are the things that I'm just not going to let get me worked up or trigger me or have my energy or have access to me? And what are the things that I want to give more access to? Who are the people, the places, and the things that I want to give more access to if I knew that I only had one more year to live, if I'm even going to live for another year? And it's interesting when you put that question into perspective. I used to ask a question to people like, if 1 year goes by and a whole year has passed and not much has changed, maybe your outer world has changed, but your inner world is still the same, because for the most part, for most people, it's true. It's valid and it hits and it hurts. And you're like, shit, I just spent a whole year and I feel like I'm in the same position. Or maybe my outer world has changed, but my inner world is still the same. Like, I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel like I know who I am or what I want, or I don't know if I'm happy. I don't know what happiness feels like. I don't know what health feels like. I don't know what a regulated nervous system feels like. I don't know what it feels like to experience joy. I don't know what it feels like to actually like love myself or like myself or love another. Like, I don't understand or know what that experience is like, or maybe I haven't experienced in a long time. And because recently, I don't know if you've ever lost anybody recently or in the past, I think sometimes, life keeps going on. And over a period of time, I've lost people that have meant a lot to me, and people that I would call mentors and friends and super wise people. I'm like, well, what if I only had one more year to live? What would I be reserving information from you guys? Would I like continue to wait to write this book? Would I continue to wait to get on to speak this information to you because I don't know if I've crafted it like correctly? And so I want you to just ask yourself that question, like, what would I be doing more intentionally? What would I be taking that like on do not disturb, on reservation mode, and flipping it off to like, what things would I turn that on to? If you're actually going to live life intentionally for 2024. I mean, at least just use 2024 as your base point. If you were from today going to start living life intentionally, what would you be doing differently on your day by day, your daily methods of operation? What would you be doing differently? Who would you be engaging in conversation with? Who would you not be engaging in conversation with? What places would you start showing up more to? What skill sets would you start to adapt? What are those dreams where you keep having on the reservation mode? And this goes back into the word I can't. Well, what can you do right now? What do you have access to? Who do you have access to? Who can you ask support from? A lot of you guys have a hard time asking for support. Why? The ego. You don't want anybody to see you weak. Well, vulnerability is a strength. I will let you know that, especially to our men. Vulnerability is such a strength. And also for our women that are expecting people to just know, people don't know, asking and letting people know what's going on with you is a strength. It will only strengthen relationships and create stronger bonds with people. So I thought that was really important, and that was something that was just heavy in my heart the last few weeks as to how I've been thinking and how I've been showing up and why I've been putting this stuff out there for free. And you take it with you, and all I ask is you just share it with other people that will find value in this information and in this context. So what else did I want to say to you? That's about it. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about conditional prayer, gratitude, and unconditional prayer, and how when you are doing things that allows you to actually feel gratitude. We talked about earlier, like have an experience of like, what does it even feel like to feel gratitude? What does it even feel like to feel happiness? What does it even feel like to feel joy? And starting with today, your homework is to catch yourself in moments of labeling: good, bad, better, worse, can't, try, and think about what your next clear step is towards your goals, your visions, and your dreams. And just understand that there are multiple paths to your end destination. And sometimes you have to the reason why our meditational practice is so important is because we allow ourselves to go inward and to have a relationship with God and to ask God what your next clear step is for you in your journey, in your path, with where you currently are in your circumstances, because sometimes we can't necessarily change our circumstances right here, right now, but what can we change? What can we shift? Maybe you can shift how you react. Maybe you can shift you setting boundaries for your day and how you're showing up and how you're operating and how you're responding and how you're allowing other people to speak to you. And so that's what I want to share with you today. Be intentional with your words, be intentional with your thoughts, be intentional with your decisions, and be okay with asking for support. All right. Everybody great has mentors and coaches. I have mentors and coaches, and I wanted to share that personal story with you as to start to just think intentionally. Start to think intentionally of like, man, if I knew I had one more year to live, how would I start living my days differently? All right, you guys, that was meant to like lift your spirit, not to crush it. So I love you and I appreciate you. I hope you have a blessed up day. I'll see you tomorrow. As of now, I do not have a guest scheduled for my 2 o'clock minding my business. I had a reschedule. I'm trying to find somebody on the show for today. But if it doesn't happen, I'll figure it out this week. All right, you guys, hope you have a blessed day and I'll talk to you later. Bye.